I've given up on laptops. Probably just do my phone from now on at this point.
You're all hyped about a brand new laptop this week and how like we're finally done with the stuff, and here you are on your phone, which actually is better quality than you've ever fucking had on
I
Nick's Picks. So
what's
it
funny
is
is
what
how
it
it
is.
actually it did load up Discord a lot quicker than my laptop, but
I don't know why we haven't just done this every fucking week. What is going on, guys? Nick's Picks, week 8 of the regular season, and I am joined, as I am always, by Ben, who is a better camera quality today, but he's still not on this brand new laptop that he's been talking so much about. But yes, we are back for Nick's Picks, week 8, and I cannot believe we are already in week 8 of the regular season. That's honestly
basically the
wild.
halfway point.
Yeah, but
The halfway point, more or less.
it's week 8. How you doing?
Well, Atlanta is still tied with Tampa for the NFC South. So feel weird, honestly. I don't like if you told me at any point during this season, hey, you will be tied with Tampa for the lead, I would have thought you were on something else. And 7 weeks in, and yeah,
Still got
that's
it.
that is the case. I'm more pissed about that roughing the passer call because we could have the lead.
So, speaking of our teams and how they've been doing so far, let's go through all of the NFL and how the week 7 went down. But before we do that, as you can see from the thumbnail of the video and from the title screen, we are still tied. The border was still white and it is still tied. Both of us got all of our picks right except for one. And what one do you think we didn't get fucking right, Ben? The one
It
we
was our
can't
pick, wasn't it?
the one we can't ever fucking get right, the wager pick. For whatever fucking reason, the commies decide to beat the Packers out of fucking nowhere. And I think even stranger than that, the Panthers, who should be in full tank mode, lose or beat the fuck out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But like I said, let's get into this week 7 recap. So we started with the Thursday night game, and we actually finally had a somewhat legitimate Thursday night game, somewhat interesting to watch. The Cardinals did end up beating the Saints 42-34. Cardinals just still very inconsistent up and down all year, and they just seem like there's something wrong with them. The Saints, on the other hand, like I said, I don't think they're winning too many more games this year. We move on into the Sunday games, and we'll start with both of our games. The Giants did beat the Jacksonville Jaguars by literally a yard. The Jacksonville Jaguars were 1 yard away from scoring the game tying and then potentially the game winning touchdown, barring the extra point. We're still 6-1. This Seattle game's gonna be tough. We'll get to that in a little bit. But the Falcons played against the Cincinnati Bengals and got their ass handed to them 35-17 by the defending AFC champions. Finally, the Bengals are starting to look like the Bengals again. The Falcons are starting to look like the Falcons again. So really not a whole lot of news.
I understand how we can beat the Niners, but I mean, again, I'm not saying the Niners are bad, but how is it that we can beat the Niners but get our ass kicked by the Bengals?
The Lions and the Cowboys were in a close game for a little bit, and then the Cowboys just kind of pulled away with Dak Prescott finally back. Cowboys win that game 24-6. The Tennessee Titans, my game of the week last week, did beat the Indianapolis Colts 19-10, and the fact that this was the game of the week shows you that this week just wasn't that great. Speaking of it not being great, these fucking wager picks are killing me. The commies did beat the Packers 23-21. I'm done picking the Packers on anything. I'm sick of this. I think the Packers have screwed me over on more wager picks than anything else. But speaking of these wager picks, Ben also got fucked over on yet another wager pick. The Panthers beat the Buccaneers 21-3. What the fuck is
I'm done
wrong?
with Tampa, dude.
What is wrong with Tampa? I don't understand.
Brady should have stayed. No, actually, no. I'm glad Brady didn't retire so we can see this. It's not even a fall from grace. Just straight plummet. I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's a free fall.
Really hey, at least he has a family. Oh, wait. Oh,
Wow, he goes there. The Ravens did go on to beat the Cleveland Browns 23-20. This was kind of the game we expected out of these teams, a very evenly matched game. The Jets went on to beat the Denver Broncos 16-9. The Broncos just still suck. At this point, they just suck. It's no longer what's wrong with them. They're awful. I'm sorry. The Las Vegas Raiders beat the Houston Texans 38-20. Cool. I don't seem to recall who the fuck asked. The Seahawks beat the Chargers 37-23. Speaking of coming to reality that teams suck, the Chargers. I think it's time to admit, dude, you're not as good as we all thought you were. I guess the Chargers are probably the biggest bust of the league this year, and Seahawks probably the biggest shocker of the league on the flip side.
I would argue Denver is actually the worst because
but
they pay their quarterback a lot.
But this was the best division in football, and we expected the Chargers to be the top of that division. And right now, they're the bottom of this division. Speaking of that division, the Kansas City Chiefs did go on to beat the San Francisco 49ers 44-23. Patrick Mahomes is just on a tear after that loss to Buffalo. The Chiefs and the Bills are going to meet in the playoffs again, and I can't wait for that fucking game. The Dolphins went on to beat the Steelers on Sunday night 16-10. Fucking Kenny Pickett was like 30, not even 30 yards away from my 2-point conversion. God damn it, Kenny. And probably the biggest shocker of the week on Monday night, we actually had touchdowns. That was the biggest shocker of the week. No, but the Chicago Bears did go on to beat the New England Patriots 33-14 after scoring 23 unanswered points to end the game. We got to see Mac Jones come back, get benched, and just watch his backup just do great for like 3 drives and then absolutely shit the bed himself. So Patriots have a lot of problems going their way. The Chicago Bears still aren't great, but finally get a win for themselves. And that is the Week 7 recap. And with all that said and done, like I said, we both ended up with 6 points this week after we were already tied last week. So we remain tied this week with the score 32-32. I'm out of breath. Ben, how did Week 7 looking for you?
It was not a lucky 7 for a lot of teams. I can tell you that as you were railing off there. I was surprised Atlanta kept it as close as they did because I didn't think they were going to. It was the first time, though, that didn't cover the spread. So no easy luck there. Calvin Ridley's not exactly happy about that. Oh, that's 2 for me today.
So let's hop into it. Our Week 8 picks. We start with the game of the week. Now, there were some better games this week, but I am going to have to go with 2 teams that this should be the game of the week. This should be 2 juggernauts going at each other. But instead, it's the Baltimore Ravens going up against what's left of Tampa Bay. I don't understand what's wrong with Tampa Bay, and God knows I'm not picking them for this game if they just lost 21-3 to the Panthers. And that being said, that means the Bucs are probably gonna win this one. But I think the Ravens are finally starting to turn it around just a little bit. I mean, they still do have their issues. There are clearly holes on this Baltimore Ravens team. More holes than we probably thought there was at the beginning of the season. But in my opinion, they're still the best team in this AFC North. So I do have the Baltimore Ravens beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-21. I'd be shocked if the Bucs scored 21 points after only putting up 3 against Carolina. But at the same time, this is at home, and Baltimore just is so iffy every week. As I'm pretty sure this is the Thursday night game, so this will be the game you guys are watching tonight.
Well, I am moving on to a divisional matchup between my dad's team, the LA Rams, and the San Francisco 49ers. And I'll be honest, I was tempted to pick the Rams in this one, like you did, I'm pretty sure. And I didn't know this. Apparently, Garoppolo is 7-0 against the Rams. And I wanted to break that streak. It is home for the Rams, but look, I might as well just ride with it, I guess. I'm picking the Niners to win 24-21. I'm wondering if I can bait a challenge out of you, but regardless, I'm still surprised that Garoppolo was apparently 7-0 against the Rams. Like, that's such a weird thing.
To be fair, the Niners are favored, so, and the Rams are
weird.
Home. Yeah, so.
Well, home.
Yeah, home. Are the Rams or the Chargers ever really home? So we move on to our picks, and we were just talking about this a second ago. I am on the fence with this one. Ben will have the Panthers going up against the Falcons, which you might as well just be just as on the fence. The Panthers just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so who the hell knows?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
Honestly. And then you guys go from beating the 49ers to losing to Cincinnati, so like who knows what you guys are going to show up as. But yeah, the Giants play Seattle in Seattle. Now, earlier, like just a couple of weeks ago, I was saying that this was a very winnable game for the Giants, and it still is. But man, we've been playing some iffy games lately, and I think this is going to be one of our tougher tests of the season. And I also think that should we lose this game, it is going to be a very good learning experience for this team to basically just confirm all the things that we already kind of know, even though we've been winning. That the offense needs wide receiver help, desperately needs wide receiver help. And now, at this point, now that Evan Neal is hurt for the next 4 to 6 weeks, they're going to need offensive line help. And on the defensive side of the ball, we do need some pass rushers. Seattle Seahawks have been playing great. Kenneth Walker, I am rooting for him as a player. Michigan State pride. I'm a Michigan State fan as well as an SU fan. I feel like I have to take the win-win situation, or the win-loss. At least, like, I don't make sure I don't have a lose-lose situation is basically what I'm saying. I'm going to have to lose one. I don't want to lose both. So I'm going to pick Seattle to win this game. And if the Giants go on to win, I'll be happy. And if Seattle goes on to win, I will also be happy because I get the pick. So I'm picking Seattle to win this one.
Weird logic, but I respect it. I respect the logic.
I'm going to pick Seattle to win this one. It's a weird score. I'm picking 26-24 over the New York Giants. I really do think like this is going to come down to, it's going to be 24-23 Giants. Score a touchdown late in the game, take the lead, but the defense just isn't going to be able to hold. So that is my prediction for this game, 26-24.
I'll admit, I was very close on this one. I was going back and forth because, like you said, Atlanta beat the Niners. And I was like, you know what? Okay, we have a chance. And then they get their ass kicked by Cincy. But they play against Carolina, who just beat fuck. Yeah, this is a tough one. Eventually, I have to have some faith in this team. I don't know how I can, but I have to. And I'm just going with my gut here. You might call me crazy, but I'm going to pick Atlanta to win this game. It's in Atlanta. There's no CMC this time. They don't throw the ball to DJ Moore. It's really just their defense that I'm worried about. And even that's still a stretch to be anything. Now I'm kind of wavering off, honestly. I'm almost talking myself out of it, but I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick with it. I'm having the Falcons beat the Panthers 27-20.
To be
just
fair,
to have some happiness.
To be fair, Brian Burns might not even be a Panther by the time this game happens. Number one. If that happens,
I almost want to have the.
And number two, I am almost willing to put up this the Panthers beating the Bucks as a fluke like that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That flukes happen. That was a fluke.
Yeah.
So we move on to the picks that we give each other. Now Ben gave me that motherfucker Zach Wilson last week, so I'm giving Ben that motherfucker Zach Wilson this week, who will have to go up against either Bailey Zapp or Mac Jones.
Or both.
They might just run a 2-quarterback system at this point. Can't see Belichick doing that. But for me, Ben gave me the Vikings going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Those inconsistent Arizona Cardinals. And god damn it, they're so inconsistent that they become hard to pick. If it wasn't for the fact that the Minnesota Vikings have been very consistent all season. They're coming off a bye week, so it should make them a little bit healthier than they were because I know Dalvin Cook was suffering through an injury. But, beyond that, the Minnesota Vikings have been just as much of a powerhouse, have been a very underrated powerhouse in the NFC this season so far. One of the more consistent teams. So I do believe that the Minnesota Vikings go on to win this game 32-20 over the Arizona Cardinals. I don't believe in Arizona. I haven't believed in them from the beginning of the season. And even though they had a good game against New Orleans last week, I don't believe in New Orleans either. So Minnesota has been very consistent so far this season and has not gotten a whole lot of love for it. So I'm giving them a huge win over the Arizona Cardinals at home.
All right, and like Nick said, I have the Jets going up against the New England Patriots, who honestly, for about 3 quarters of play, looked like it was going to be them winning Monday night. Never mind. But I wanted to pick the Patriots mainly because it feels weird to bet against Belichick, but at the same time, they don't really have that great offense. They have a good running game.
Hey, it felt weird to pick the Jets over the Broncos last week. So this whole thing about the Jets feels weird, all right?
No,
I
agree.
have to accept it at this point.
Having said that, I am picking the Jets to beat the Patriots, and it's mainly because even though, yes, their rookie Breece Hall did get an ACL injury, hope he comes back healthy next season, they traded to get James Robinson from the Jaguars for literally a Burger King coupon. They'll probably use him a lot better than the Jag, who I guess are just going more so for Travis Etienne. But regardless, I still have the Jets winning this game 21-17 over New England. And plus it's in New York. That's giving me more of the slighter edge. I still don't think it's going to be that great of a game because it is still the Jets, but
I do want to say about the Breece Hall thing, that dude was going to win Rookie of the Year without a doubt.
100%.
I guarantee you he's going to be one of the best running backs in the league within the next couple of years. But this is the wager pick. And it doesn't seem to fucking matter what we pick. It doesn't matter who plays each other. We could wager. We could wager. Who's the best team in the league right now, in your opinion? The Bills or the Eagles? Either one of them.
The Bills, yeah.
We could wager the Bills to beat a high school team, and the Bills would lose the game just because we said that the Bills would win it. That's how these wager picks have been going. If you can't tell by now, we're in the wager picks, and we only had there was very two clear games, just like last week, that we think are the two most locked games, and we got both of them wrong last week. So will it happen again this week? And it's the Steelers are involved again, which kind of makes me a little bit scared. But I'm going with the Eagles over the Steelers, 30-17, because I don't. Why? Do I have to give reasons? Obviously, the Eagles are much better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's no. Like, I don't need to give you some NFL analysts, like, bullshit to say that the Eagles are better than the Steelers. Everyone fucking knows that. But the Steelers are going to end up fucking winning this game because I just picked the Eagles to win this one 30-17. So I don't give a shit anymore.
Basically, if you're betting, bet the money line for the Steelers. You'll make bank. Moving on to mine, which is also the clear. This is, I think, Sunday night. Yeah, this is Sunday Night Football between the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers. And honestly, beginning of the season, this probably looked like the game of the week. But when you lose to the Commies, you'd have no right winning the rest of... Hot take, I would take the Lions over the Packers right now. But you don't need that against this team. The Bills are going to absolutely, hopefully, please, for the love that's all that's good and holy, please, Bills, beat
No, they're fucking not. Just saying.
Probably not.
No, they're not now that you said it. They were until you said that.
I got the Bills winning 32-17. And honestly, this is a win-win. Either the Bills win and I get a wager, or I keep up that Bills Buffalo hater mentality and have the Bills subtly lose as I pick against them. Maybe this is just me thinking ahead of... I don't know.
We all know you're not that smart. And we finished Nick's picks week 8 with the 2-point conversion. And I'm going to those commies who managed to beat the Green Bay Packers last week, going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who just replaced Matt Ryan with anyways.
Who?
So Taylor Heineken, the beer company or something, is still the quarterback of the Washington Commies, and he is going up against the quarterback to be named later for the Indianapolis Colts. So if either of these teams put up more than 100 passing yards, I'd be surprised. But I'm going to be a little bit more generous than that. I don't think that these two teams combined are going to put up 350 passing yards between the both of them. So that's 175 yards each allotted to both of them. I don't think either one is passing over 200. I don't really think either one's passing over 150. But 350 yards or less of passing yards between the Indianapolis Colts and the Washington Commies in a game that's probably going to end with a 45-40 score and 500 passing yards because, I'm just as bad at 2 points apparently as I am at wager picks.
All right, and moving on, mine is going to be me predicting a offensive showcase between the Dolphins, which I half expected heading into the season, and the Lions. Weird how that's the second team, but they are playing, and I think that both these teams will combine for over 600 yards of total offense and 6 touchdowns. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even though I believe more in the Dolphins offense, I also think that Detroit will somehow find a way to make it look like they're a good team for at least one more week.
So that is it for Nick's Picks Week 8. Drop a like on the video if you want to see us finally get a fucking wager pick right. 1 like equals 1 prayer for it, unless, of course, we wagered your team to lose. In that case, like for our suffering so that we lose another wager pick and you get to see us lose our fucking minds again next week. But drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitch if you haven't already. I am live over on Twitch Mondays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Mondays and Fridays at 6:30, Saturdays and Sundays at a time during the day. Turn on notifications so that you know when I turn on, or go live when I turn on. I am also live on YouTube on Tuesdays. That is at 5 o'clock. And I'm not live on anything on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But Thursdays is when Nick's Picks is posted, just like the one you are watching right now. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the score of Nick's Picks currently is 32-32. and we are already 8 weeks into the season, so there is a chance we have a mid-season video coming up. I am not 100% sure. Haven't really thought about it. That is literally the first time that I've mentioned it to Ben or out loud at all. But Ben, that is it for week 8. Is there anything you want to say before we head out of here?
I hate technology, honestly, with my life.
You know what? It worked well with your phone, though, so that's
Fair.
fine. We might just do this from now on because this wasn't too bad,
Honestly,
except for the fact that there was that one time that you like turned off your camera. But I'll probably just edit that out so they don't even know that happened. All right, that is it for Nick's Picks Week 8, guys. We'll see you guys next week on Nick's Picks. And we'll see you tomorrow on the live stream over on Twitch. But have fun. Enjoy Thursday night football, guys. Have a great one. Peace. And Ben, I swear to fuck. Just one time.
I just want to bring up the fact that you said turn you on or whatever, and I was like laughing the entire time afterwards. Bye, guys.